Hi everybody, I'm Simon Sharwood. I never quite know where to put my gaze during these things. Should I be talking to an imaginary crowd? Should I be looking straight down the barrel? Craig's moved over there. Looks like I should be looking down the barrel. I was going to do a talk today about building a Microsoft Bob virtual machine. I don't know if you remember Microsoft Bob. It was Microsoft's attempt to do a social interface for Windows 3.1. It was dreadful, and I built a virtual machine for it earlier this year. It was quite a lot of fun until I got to the bit where I had to load up, I think it was 7 or 8 virtual floppy disks, which is like, mount this one, unmount it, mount this one, unmount this one. Complete pain in the arse, just like floppy disks were back in 1992. But unfortunately, when I went to fire up that VM today, it didn't work, which left me kind of unable to put together more slides than that one, and needing to instead give you a rant that I've been wanting to rant for a while that I call, Is DevOps Insane? Okay. Why would we think that DevOps might be insane? Well, look, we all know that there's no point in doing IT if you don't get to run an application. Applications are what matter to business. And all of the lovely, tin and kit that we get to play around with in our lives is only there to help you do an application. Now, what we've come to realise over the years is that developers are, I won't use that word, I'll say developers cannot always work at what business considers an optimal pace, which means that business applications often end up being a bit static and old and fuddy-duddy, and they don't do what a business needs, which is give them the ability to change reliably, rapidly and regularly. Into this world comes DevOps with a whole bunch of techniques that lets you get code done faster so the business can be more agile. Now, where this has led us on the infrastructure side of the house is to the situation we've gotten today, where having gone through physical IT and into virtual IT, we're now starting to talk about all sorts of exotic ways of doing IT, where you might have 100 little nuggets of code all interoperable over an API, and instead of these things kind of living in a nice predictable fashion, you summon them into existence and you spawn them, and then you chain them and orchestrate them into something that looks like an application and behaves like an application to the end user, but requires an incredible amount of complexity and rapid change for your infrastructure. And so we're going from a situation where we pretty much were in control of our infrastructure to one where we're asking our infrastructure to be capable of handling and sustaining, spawning thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of containers and tiny VMs every day, and then chucking them away and starting again. And this is why I say to myself, is DevOps insane? How is it we've gotten to a point where the needs of software developers, and the only way that software developers have found to be reliably agile, has created a situation in which we've got code writing code and code spawning virtual machines and containers at a faster rate and with greater interoperability and complexity than the human mind is actually capable of comprehending or ordering. How is it we've got to this situation where we need extraordinarily complex automation to do everything for us, and the message from everybody concerned is basically, trust us, it's going to be better for the business? I'm really looking forward to the day when somebody gets asked, okay, in that microservices stack that you hand-coded and cobbled together with bits of string and pipe cleaners, where did it go wrong when the hacker got in? That's going to be an interesting moment, isn't it? And at the same time, it's going to be a really interesting moment where 5 years from now, the business you're working for goes through, a regular paroxysm of deciding that everything needs to be reviewed and or thrown out. And you say, yeah, we bought that piece of kit because it's got 2 or 3 features that's excellent for microservices, and we really, really needed that. And yeah, we know that the trend was really to whitebox x86 doing everything, and that whitebox x86, virtual or physical, was pretty much going to be good enough. But yeah, we did need to create those weird silos of IT. So this is why I ask the question, is DevOps insane? I don't have the answer. I'm a journalist. It's my job to ask questions and to come up with ideas for questions. And the question I'm going to be asking for the next little while is DevOps insane? Now, the answers that I'm starting to get are no, it's not insane, because anything that gets applications more easy to iterate and makes a business more agile is by definition sane. The other thing I get is that we're in really early days for microservices and for DevOps, and it's going to settle down. Another idea I heard the other day is that DevOps and some of the microservices stuff might actually be a little bit ahead of the curve. So for example, we've got flash arrays now, and most of us are taking advantage of the fact that flash arrays have got more IOPS than we ever dreamed with. But who's actually writing applications to take advantage of the particular characteristics of a flash array? We're probably a little further away from those applications starting to emerge that take advantage of new infrastructure than we are from DevOps being mature. So I think there are a whole bunch of questions that are going to play out in this space. Personally, I got no idea what the answers are, but I'm sure as heck looking forward to talking to people to figure out the answers, then writing about them in the register, having you click on those stories in the register, because every time you click on a register story, my children get a bowl of food. And every time you click on an ad, my children get a shoe. So get yourself back to the register, read our stuff, click on the ads. I'm Simon Sharwood, Asia Pac editor for the register, and it's probably best for us all that I stop now.